This is modern homesteading. So a box just arrived via the post office with a Winona, Minnesota return address on it. That could only mean one thing. You guys know what it is. I need a moment here to soak in the craftsmanship and artistry. All right, I've caught my breath. We can continue on. So what you're looking at here are the initial production of my new logging boots. And the reason why they don't have soles on them is because Adam, the maker of these fine boots, puts them together, and then we'll do a test fit. So I'll put these on tonight. He's included a heel block that I can stand on, and then we'll communicate what I like, what I don't like, and make any alterations before he stitches them over. That's a service you're just not going to get from hardly anyone. To be able to have a pre-fit like this is just, it makes all the difference in the world. These are beautiful. So I had a long conversation with Adam about these boots and exactly what I wanted. And I want to discuss to you what makes these so special, what makes them different than so many of the other ones. Starting with the pole loops, you'll see this is really unique. Most boots are going to have a pole loop on the back. I don't like the pole loop on the back, and I never use it because it's too small and I can't get a gloved hand in it. This is so much better. I've never had a pair of boots like this, but you can get fingers in there or gloved hands in there to pull them on. Adam told me that he stitches inside of this leather a ballistic Cordura nylon that increases that strength. They said you'll never pull these loops out. That's a nice touch. Another thing that makes these boots really special is this inner liner. If you look inside here, you see that this tan liner is made of 100% elk hide, and it's one piece. Adam told me that he knew of 4 boot makers in the entire country that have the skill and the ability to do a one-piece liner. There's no stitching in the back. If you look at your boots, most boots are going to have stitching clear in the back right there, and that's the first thing that will wear out on a lot of boots, because your heel goes in and out, and you're taking 10,000 steps a day and you're rubbing and rubbing on that. Ultimately, it goes through the stitching and wears it out. There's no exposed stitching on this entire boot. It's all a one-piece hand-fit liner all the way into the toe box, and all elk hide. I mean, that's beautiful. That's absolutely custom and beautiful. Adam told me that you can see right there between the cowhide and the elk leather, he uses a neoprene cement that bonds those two together, so you never have to worry about the two coming apart. Like those horrible Danner boots that have that Gore-Tex booty that after you wear them for a while comes around and you go wiggling around inside the boots. You'll never have that problem here. And that elk hide is just so nice on the skin and so nice to have in being that's in contact with your foot. Another thing that we talked a lot about is I wanted a boot that was tough but athletic. I didn't want a big, heavy, clunky boot that I couldn't be nimble in and jump around and really feel athletic. So one thing that he did for me, and he'd do for anyone who wants to do boots, is this heel counter. What that is that's a big, stiff, heavy cup that goes around here. In cheap boots, you'll start to waller around in them. Your heel will get all mushy. That's because they use a real poor, thin leather. Whites or Westco's or Nicks will use an 8-ounce material around here. And Adam, he uses a 12-ounce material. And what he did is he cut this down a little bit. So if you can see in there, if I press this down right where my thumb goes, that's where that heavy leather is. And he ran mine down a little bit further, so I get a little bit increased ankle movement. So I get really a nimble and athletic boot. And that's a great feature. I'm really excited about that. I can feel that as soon as I put it on, just how good that felt. Adam says that he takes everything that the best boot makers make, or materials that they use, and he increases it by 50%. And just it shows in everything that he does. Another thing I see he does is he uses brass nails in here. brass will never corrode. That's why they use it on ships and salt water. That's why ships' bells are made out of brass. When you use steel nails and you have the moisture that the foot introduces, it's going to rust and corrode, and that's going to rot the leather. That's just going to break down the whole boot. You know, these boots are made to wear for 15, 20, 25 years if they're taken care of. And with brass, all brass hardware, you're never going to have to worry about that. The Shank material, I've spec'd out. I wanted Shank is right in here, right over under your arch. That prevents you from, if you step on a nail or something, or a shovel, prevents you from damaging your foot. I had a bad experience in a wildland fire with a pair of boots that had a steel shank in them. That steel shank heated up when we were mopping up, and my boots were just unwearable. I had to stand in buckets of water. So I've spec'd out that he uses a heavy leather, all leather, so there's no steel in the boot for that to happen. One thing different you're going to get from Adam's boots is, since he's a small shop and a custom shop, he's hand cutting all his own leather from his own hides. He's not having someone else, like the bigger boot shops, where they're just going to cut out pattern after pattern after pattern and never put any consideration into the types of hides. You know, animal hide is skin. It's a living thing and it's different. You know, how it reacts depends on how the animal was treated and the environment and a great many things. So he hand selects leathers that are most appropriate. You know, he can choose grains and line things up excuse me, so that they are the best for that particular application instead of just a one-size-fits-all. These are beautiful. You know, the thing that was nice of dealing with him is that he asked me the right questions, you know, and told me, asked, you know, what issues have I had with boots. And one thing that's always bothered me is, if you look right here, there's a little bump on this boot. Is for some reason on my left foot, my pinky toe just gets rubbed raw. It's always painful, regardless of how good the boots have been. And he bumped that out. He made just a little bit of extra space on there, so I won't have that problem in the future. And you know, that's the type of detail you get. $450 for a pair of boots like this is a deal, in my opinion. You're going to pay that same amount for Whites or Nicks or Westco's, but you're not going to get these features. You're not going to get a one-piece elk liner. You're not going to get hand-selected hides. You're not going to get this extra custom fit. They're not going to ship you boots without the soles on them, so you can be sure that they're exactly how you want them. So, you know, for me, it's a no-brainer. I can't wait. I just cannot wait to get the soles on these. These are so pretty that I don't even want to wear them out into the forest, and I would almost keep them for good, but Adam told me I had to, that was not an option. That's what they were designed for. So I thought I'd share that with you. So I'm going to call him. I'll try these on tonight, call him. We'll go over the fit, stand on the heel block, make sure I have everything right, choose the sole that I want, and man, we'll have one more video I'll show you when they come back in. But aren't they beautiful? They're absolutely just beautiful. Dallas are rush the Jim Guthrie. Jim Guthrie. Beg of pardon. Rush Led Zeppelin wrote, I love the series. Tom Bombadil. Bobadil comes to mind. Bombadil.